am I substituting Adam today?
Yes, yes, you are. So,
I try my best having his Nebraskan accent.
oh, you
It's
have a long way to go, Danish. I'm sorry. So, yeah, hello everyone. Welcome, and we're glad you're able to take a peek at our weekly update this week. And as you can see, we've got Danish here. He's helping out. It's a good time, you know. He's got some exciting news for us, and so I won't have too much. I'm just gonna we're gonna concentrate today's update on some exciting new things coming with Managed Services Platform. But Adam is out sick today. As I was telling the guys just a minute ago, I'm really enjoying this whole virtual deal. That way Adam didn't show up to the office and make me sick. So Adam's sick, but I'm well. So all's good. That's a general update. But we do want to continue to encourage you guys to give us any feedback for those of you that have gone over our Humanize IT approach. You've probably seen Adam and his materials there. I won't dive into that right now, but if you guys have any feedback on that, we're making the last updates and polishes to that to get that collateral to you guys so that you can really differentiate yourself and your VCIO programs from everybody else out there by just right out of the gate showing your clients, look, we have a process, we have a structure that we follow. We're not just winging this, you know, shooting from the hip, whatever analogy you want. We have a system by which we can help you guys drive technology in your organizations and not miss anything. We're going to offer a complete solution. So that's the Humanize IT approach. If you want to get an update on that and you haven't, Adam, well, you might tag him next week. He's, like I said, low under the weather. But Adam is all about getting that information out there. So grab a slot on his calendar. He'd be happy to show that to you. I have a couple of updates, or one particular update. I am releasing or working on it's still very much beta, but we do have a NIST-based cybersecurity assessment template out there. So I've had this in the works for a while. It was initially a worksheet that I used with clients. It was very labor intensive. So I struggled for a while to figure out how to get that into an easy format and make it a client engagement activity and not this not this audit that you take and you hand out to some of your teams and spend some time on it. So we've made some progress on that. If you're interested in that one as well, let me know. Again, this is one of the great opportunities of our VEP community is we get requests from you guys about products that you need. We begin to develop those and we make you a part of that development process. So if there's something specific that you're needing, we can possibly bake that into the solution. So as soon as it hits, a productivity, availability for you guys, you'll be ready to go with your custom elements in that you're needing. So that'll help make this more valuable for you guys. So hit me up, skip at virtualc.biz, Adam at virtualc.biz if you want any more additional information on these items. So I think that is our updates for Virtual C this week. So we have, like I mentioned, we have some great updates coming from Danish. So I will turn that over to him and let him dazzle us.
Yeah, thanks. And a couple of things like I wanted to reflect on what you were saying, Skip, about the NIST assessment. When we are talking about virtual CIO type of engagements, many times you do not have really, or the managed services do not have really a big budget internally to actually execute real IT consultative services. So NIST is a great example. If you get into this kind of NIST assessment with all the labor intensive part, it's going to be really hard to deliver any value. But if you are actually doing like a kind of NIST light, something which is going to be helping them to understand that's something which they need to pursue more, that's more as a engagement activity.
Yes.
The difference between the engagement activity and the real service is that engagement activity is an add-on to something you're already doing to engage them better. but it's not really a service delivery. So that's why we wanted to point out that most of the VCIO services you're going to do is more workshop, audit, something which is kind of showing the interest on something, and then you are able to put this under a normal contract, project, scope, have time, and make sure that's going to happen. So I believe this NIST assessment is great engagement for that. Do you see my screen, Skip?
Yes, we do.
All right. So that's going to be a great blown up probably here, because we are going to have a release probably tomorrow, and that's a test environment what I'm showing. And the guys are still working on the test environment. So I'm not sure it's going to work everything or not, but I'm going to just really quickly have a roundup where we have been having new releases. So one of the first thing is that if you see my screen, there is a nice looking client report hidden on the top. Skip, what do you think it is?
Well, I'm hoping that's something about a nice overall score, or
we're gonna see what we're gonna see here.
Okay.
The idea is that you have many reports with your clients, and the idea was to be able to make sure that you are able to pick a report template, and based on this report template, see all the different completions, and you're able to see like the different companies, different scores, and things like that. So why is it great? Because many times, Skip, what we see is that you go there with the IT infrastructure report and you have 25, and like, all right, what that means?
Right.
It's not 100. All right. But if you say, you know what, you have 25, but 90% of our clients, bang, have 80 plus. Mm-hmm. You are outlier. I'm showing something which is a better representation of what that means, and not just an artificial thing. The other item is that, okay, let's go and score it descending and seeing, okay, who are the good customers and who have issues.
There we go.
So I think that's for Mike is here. Mike is an executive of an MSP. Like, this is what I would interested on as an executive. Guys, okay, hey, why we are not, having a conversation with these guys? Why we have that 18? That's hurting us. That's more work. Or if you are seeing that, what about the security? Who is not having the security assessment? Who is not having which account manager actually doing better job? So it's an overview of the many reports you are already doing, regardless of audits or different types. So basically that's one item. Skip, what do you think in general?
I like this because, I think so many times we have good staff and we have good intentions, at least at that. And we sit down and we do these planning sessions internally, and we decide, we need to do this. This is a good plan. And we launch with that. But then, our days get busy. I mean, clients blow up, something happens, and we need something to help keep us on track. We've probably all been in that place where we worked really hard to gain a client and then been blindsided, years or months later into the agreement when this client up and quits. And it's so frustrating because of all the work and the effort we put into these guys, and to lose them just because we didn't do something that we would have done had we known we needed to do it. This is a great tool to help keep us on track.
Many times, if you have an issue with a client, what's going to happen? You need evidence. You need evidence you did something.
Yep.
When they are throwing the ball, like, hey, Skip, you didn't do your work, you haven't shown up, and things like that. When that thing hits the fan, then you need some type of evidence. We sent you something, we asked you, we saw that was a bad number, we wanted to get it done. So it's really important to have accountability on both ends. The other thing, when you are selecting one of those, you see that's a benchmark now. So in this IT infrastructure audit, we have 4 reports, average based on 2 clients, and that's 14 points, the future state, and then you are able to compare the people there. So I think it's really important for them actually, and for your team as well, to get awareness.
Now, there's one interesting little tidbit here, Dennis, that I have seen personally several times. Anytime that we start talking with clients about these metrics where we have some sort of established scoring system. I've gotten some really, really good engagement, some really good feedback from C-level people within organizations we've been working with, and it does a lot of value. But here's the interesting point. Inevitably, every time we get going with this, and we've been through a couple of cycles with this scoring mechanism, and it's always focused on them, but they come to the point when they go, so what are your other customers scoring? All right. And I don't know if it's just competitive or if there's a sense of assurance, you know, if they're following the crowd. They want to know what other clients' scores are like. Even if you don't reveal a specific client, if you can just say, generally, all of our clients within healthcare industry score in this bracket or manufacturing or whatever.
And
it helps.
And actually what I would like you to do, Skip, because you are established this TSA framework. What that means, people can follow your framework, and there are many MSPs are under the VCI Excellence program.
Ooh.
And now they can go and
rank
see
everyone. Oh yeah, not just in an MSP, but within a whole community of MSPs.
Exactly. So that gives you how your clients are actually. I know it's many times you are customizing those stack assessments, but we would like to create an established framework of performance among MSPs. That was the original, if you remember the ITCQ framework, the IT competitiveness quotient, what we started 6 years ago. That was basically a benchmark among what an awesome MSP looks like, what the traits of a great MSP. And you are able to show that, okay, you are asking a client, do you have an available IT strategy with your service provider? You have an annual strategy meeting with your service provider. You are asking those type of questions, which is actually establishing the norm.
Yep.
And you are showing that I'm comply with the norm. What about your current MSP? Oh, they are not. Now that's a differentiation, but it's not a differentiation because my message is better. No, it's a differentiation because I do something different. I do more stuff. My service is superior. But not because I'm saying so, because these are the items I'm doing, and that's visible and measurable. So go to the next exciting item. Do you see something here? You are familiar with these screens, but you must see some little icon somewhere which can be catching your attention.
No, you're going to have to give me a clue here. I'm missing it. Wait, what's the,
So that magic button is going to open up the two-way ConnectWise integration. Obviously, that's not on the test version. The two-way ConnectWise integration is basically using ConnectWise opportunities and ConnectWise projects two ways. So what that means is that if you establish your project roadmap with the client, you're able to sync it to ConnectWise. So based on a state of the project, if it's a recommended project or planned project, that's going to generate an opportunity inside ConnectWise. If you have this opportunity and you are closing that opportunity, then it's going to jump here to approved or work in progress. Even you are approving here, in your ConnectWise, that opportunity is being closed and generated a project from that.
So we're getting data back from ConnectWise.
Yes, you get back ConnectWise data as well, and you can push. So this is a semi-manual process, meaning I can't show you like the panel. This panel is basically getting all the contracts or all the projects inside ConnectWise, and it gives you an ability to put it here. Or if it's here, you can push it there. So you can go through project by project. Why is it great? Because many times the execution of the project team is different than who is communicating that. So we don't want to have a super online, sophisticated syncing method. No, you have every quarter a meeting, you click to the button, and the account manager can, okay, that project, okay, that's done. Good. So as they go through the integration and select the items, they actually get awareness what happened, or they can, oh, what is it closed or not? is it invoiced or not? So they are actually reviewing the client's changes, what's different from this reality. And I think that's another way to, and many people will ask, Dinesh, we don't need that. Yes, you do. Why? Because how many reports you create inside your organization? How many automated emails you get? And do you read them?
Oh,
No.
Yeah.
You need to force people to actually do something, because when they do something, they are going to know the answers. They are going to, go through the process. We need to lead the people to go through the review process.
Right.
And that's it.
And this is the way we put this together, it goes back to us having conversations and not presentations,
Yeah.
so we can sit down with our clients. And if we're engaging with them in these meetings, then we can actually get stuff done live then. So if we're able to make a change here, and before we get out of the office, we've already got the mechanisms and the processes rolling in ConnectWise, we're ahead of the game.
I had a conversation like yesterday, and yesterday the MSP were saying like, Dinesh, like our clients, we cannot miss this part from the conversation when we have a meeting with a client. They always ask how we are doing, what's going on, because they love their involvement in a process, because the plan wasn't presented to them. They were part of the finding process. And that's a big change. And they really see the value after this conversation. Like, yeah, these clients are really involved in that. One more thing here. I'm not sure, that's not a new feature. Just I wanted to ask you, Skip, whether you know or not that these statuses can be changed.
Now, I've heard you mention that, but I didn't see how we would do that.
So if you click on your nice little face up there is a change project status thing hidden here. And in this case, you're able to change not just like the text of like idea, for instance, but you can change the icon as well. So by clicking to the icon, that's going to be bringing up different icon sets, and you are able to choose like a little car or, a beer. So that's the part you are able to update those.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we don't give you an ability to add more because it's like tied into a logic sometimes, but like some people have it in a different way. Okay, so that's one thing. Now the next thing is going to be really interesting. Do you see that reorganized cabling? It's a project, right?
Mm-hmm.
And can you tell me how I get this reorganized cabling project here?
It was a result of an assessment, and you clicked plus to add it to the roadmap.
What did I add to the roadmap precisely?
The recommended project.
Where the recommended project is coming from?
That's defined in our templates.
Okay, so now if I click on that, and I can jump into that and change the complete project. And that's coming from the template, that's true. But right now, what I'm doing here is that customizing the very project to the client. So basically, again, reorganized cabling here. And again, if I go there, that's telling me that based on the reorganized cabling service, so that's the original project, but this is now a client-facing instance. Why this is great? Because you can put more juice there. You can actually use it as a quotation. You're able to put links to this very project, so you can govern the project much better than before, because that's just initiated as a project. Also, when you are creating a new project here, that's not going to add it to the project template library, because you are not generating a project template here. You are generating a project.
Okay, very good.
So, and obviously, like taking this new project to a template library is a copy paste of the content. So it seems to be a small update, but that's, I think, really expanding the usage of this roadmap.
That's going to be really helpful too when we look on our project dashboards, and internally we're looking at this and we've got 14 different items that, you know, have been in the past the same project name, we can put some more detail in that. You know, maybe these are small or advanced or the clients.
Exactly, and we had questions about how to do like the same project for different locations. Oh, that's a good idea.
Ooh, yeah.
The same thing, like now we are going to reorganize cabling, you know, here, there. So that's going to be helping a ton to like for people to use it for different reasons.
Oh, that is good. Yeah. Reorganize cabling for the corporate office as opposed to the field office.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, okay, that's good. That's good.
All right, let's move toward the reports and a couple of things in the reporting session or section. Let's jump into like an IT infrastructure audit for a second. And so imagine this company. I'm running a quarterly business review, right? And I'm showing them an IT infrastructure audit, and that's everything is awesome. But what if I would be able to open up a report score compare widget here, which would be able to give me options to actually select different reports as well. Unfortunately, like these are the same name of the report, but like if we have different templates, different reports, we are able to show them like security audit, infrastructure audit, different type of audits in one screen. So that was the biggest thing what you know, the Humanized IT framework has for measured component strategy. I think risk, architecture, and infrastructure, maybe services. So you are able to generate those for scoring mechanism and show the scoring for them in one report. So that's basically nesting this together. What do you think the applications of that, Skip, or how do you see that?
Well, you know, again, that's kind of Adam and I's ongoing message is you need to be having multiple types of engagements with your client. You know, we're definitely not going to get very far being a one-hit wonder. So if we're having an annual engagement, there are obviously things, you know, goals we have for that. Some of that is sped up from more specific or more technical assessments that we go through. And we certainly don't want to get into that detail down in the weeds, so to speak, on those annual engagements, but we want the high level data out of it. We want the results of the security or the technical assessment. We want that in there so we can make strategic decisions with our clients. So this allows us to divide up those engagements in a little bit more manageable chunks. We can have the right teams engaging with the right people. Everyone gets in the right roles. We can get the data out of that and then bring all this together into, you know, more aggregated and master reports to make these strategic and long-term decisions. So this is going to give us a lot of flexibility in building and customizing our engagements for exactly what we're trying to do.
That's great. And the other thing what I wanted to highlight was we did a couple of additional features here. One was this part when you have a scoring mechanism. Like many of technical audits, you want to store information to those reports based on a technisian. So the technician is actually using this as a storing mechanism. So on the notes section here, you have a complete WYSIWYG section. So basically, if you are, let's say, have any evidence or you are putting evidences here or try to, for more technical like questions on the servers, like whether we have server disk arrays or not, what's the setup of that, you're able to like copy paste like quick like a picture here. So obviously that's here.
All right.
And you are able to use like items as, for instance, highlighting like red and then showing that to inside the report. So that's important for you to do. You can actually store information here. The other aspect is if you have the service review widget, and if in the service review widget you are using the service review widget to actually review, let's say, the MSP Essential services, same thing applies. Backup management, what about this? That's green, perfect. Connectivity, now that's red. Why? because you have a comment here or the evidence what's missing, and
Okay.
just you are increasing that with a red flag, and basically that's how your report is going to look like.
Ooh, I like that. Yes.
It's really good, and that's what's really interesting is that if you have the service package, some people created the service line items and the service bundles for the sake of having actually service definitions here. So your email archival is good, email management is good, email security is good. And why do you think they did that? Why do you think they put all these things here in front of a client?
So you can talk about them.
You're just showing the shitload of stuff you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Everything is green, no problem. But
Oh, yeah.
actually it's green means not like we neglect. No, user access management wasn't any problem. We did like, it's showing the meat, because the biggest curse for this industry is that you solve their problem.
Uh-huh.
And then the perceived value is diminishing because, oh yeah, Mike, I remember you solved my problem 2 years ago, but like, why I'm paying for you now?
Mm-hmm.
And it's really bad. I mean, you know, people are people, but like, how many times you see a client less engaged because you actually did your job well and you were not, you know, poking around, and then you were just satisfying. So I wanted to make sure like this is like the best practices we have for other companies as well. So
these are going to work out really good because, you know, my experience again, and, you know, I always seem to be very experience driven in this, is we have these really good engagements with clients lots of times. You know, I've got one account manager that I think of in particular that he did everything off those big yellow tablets. All right. I mean, he just wouldn't, you know, digitize anything. So he would sit down in a meeting and we would have all these great conversations. We had all these great notes. And it was what I call a very productive meeting. But we leave that and everything just stalls because the information is still on his notepad. We're waiting for him to recreate tickets. Or even when we do get back in front of their client, you know, the last thing we want to do is flip him back and forth in a yellow legal pad trying to figure out where we're at. So by documenting this here, we're able to continue our conversations with our clients and not have these start-stop sort of engagements. It's a continuous engagement with them to, you know, move the ball here and to close the gap on what they need to do.
yeah, really good. Couple of little subtle enhancements. Probably you already seen this little notification section here. So we have many news where we wanted to create like a little platform inside the platform to get more news about the VP, new services, new options, new templates, things like that. So like partners like Virtuosity can take advantage of to silently get updates to the community members. And also we would like to have this as a forum for like if we have any change on this screen or that screen, and that's not intrusive and people can discover that a little bit better. So it's going to be having you don't see the badge, but if you have a new notification, that's going to be a red badge with a number. So it's other software are already did that. So the next one, which I would like to show you, is if you go to community.managedservicesplatform.com, we finished the single sign-on. So you're going to get access. If you're a VP member, you can jump into a VP conversation, C-level tag. And we have our own internal peer groups as well. So you can jump in. If you're a peer group member, you can get peer groups. For instance, it's like people are starting to having debates about the price and packaging and what's the best way and who is doing what. So it's a slow start. We wanted to make sure that the forum engine is there. We start the conversation. We feel what's going on. What I can tell, the feature request part is pretty busy. So you can see like, oh, I would like to have this and that and that. So we want to make sure that we are putting items here and communicate what's in progress, what's implemented, what's new. So you can see this is a soft launch, meaning we're not advertising that yet. If you go to community.managedservicesplatform.com, you can get access there. If you're a VP member, just pass an info to Skip so we can, guys, get you the right, set there. So basically, these are the kind of updates for the release and in general. And yeah, I'm pretty excited because these are like small changes, but expanding many great use cases as well.
Yes, and I really like this because, you know, we started out with your tool and saw tremendous value. And as we continue to work on it, we're growing these engagements with our clients, and we're able to expand the tool as well. So it's working really good. As you know, we do more for our clients. The tool is able to help us do more.
And I tell you something which was really interesting. So we get new clients, and we saw a huge amount of new clients are coming from so-called competitors. I haven't seen them as a competitor before and never, because I see like some other tools are you like using different type of engagement parts. But when we were asking like why you are leaving that product or why you are not satisfied with those products, they said like, those are great for one type of meeting. And I cannot have the one type of meetings more than 2 or 3 times. And that was like, I started like thinking about that. Yes, if you want to cover like strategic type of conversations, technical conversations, all sorts of conversation, your clients are all different. They all need a little bit different thing. And I believe like the design, what we come up with this type of open report with all these widgets open, it put a little bit more time to set things up and running, definitely, because you have to define what you want. It's not like we are giving you a process to follow stuff, which is a little bit harder. Obviously, like you got like Skip, you give them a huge amount of like, templates.
Yeah.
But that design helped you to be relevant all the time. And that's basically really important because have another audit. If you have a NIST, plug in a NIST assessment. Those other products really struggling with that. And that's basically just was a kind of aha moment for me. It's not because like who is better in this marketplace. I'm not saying that. I wanted to highlight why other people are seeing more value of this approach. And sometimes like a client 2 or 3 years in a row, like they don't see why actually I chosen this one or things like that. Yeah. So that's.
Now, those multiple types of engagement, that is really important. And let me make a little plug for Adam and I and the VEP subscription that you guys are in. We're working with several different people, very detailed right now to help develop those playbooks. And it's something that I really like to work on. So if you guys have any questions on that, again, shoot me an email, grab a slot on my calendar, because I think it is very important that we have these multiple type of engagements. And I'd be glad to kind of walk you through some of the things we've seen and give you some tools to help with that.
Skip, I would a little bit challenge you to create a topic inside the VEP program and ask people to get there and have the conversation inside there. Because basically that's why we have, you see cybersecurity, like you guys have actually like talk about the SWOT analysis, best ways to do that. Like I want to make sure people are going to get engaged with that. And if you have development projects, let's put this development project. Like it's early adopters can jump into and see what's going on, and the others, when it's ready to roll, they're gonna consume that. So this is, we are building a future. We build something which has never been built, like these type of reports and these type of engagements. It's not like we automate just something.
Right.
Like we try to see where the industry is going and how to get engaged with C-level CXOs, not just like the office managers, to stay relevant and be able to provide the business value. So kudos to you guys. And I want to just like put more, functions to the platform so everybody can engage with that. So awesome.
This is great stuff. And you said it's going to be released possibly tomorrow?
It's very likely, if we don't have any issue. We usually like to put things during the weekend, so it's not disrupting your client meetings and things like that. So it's going to be silently released, and we're going to, when things are settled, we are going to give you information probably Monday or Tuesday, like officially emails and everything.
All right, sounds great. Well, for those of you just joining us, like I said, Adam was out sick, so I'm glad we got this update. One more quick note, if you guys are maybe watching this video within the next couple of days of a release and are also going to the Evolve peer group meetings out in Phoenix next week, hit me up. I'm going to be out there. I'd love to meet up with you and have a little one-on-one time to just chat about business and what you guys have going on. So that's it for today, guys. Let us know if you have anything that you need to talk about or need to reach out to us. We are always available for you guys.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
See you guys.